All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. How you doing today? I am doing great. I just keeps rolling forward for me. I'm getting closer to that 365. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I've had a little trouble getting the book going though. I haven't been able to squeeze that in. I realized yesterday that I've been wasting a little time, wasting some time doing things that aren't productive, or at least they don't give me the support I need or take my life and my goals in a certain direction. And one of them is I haven't been writing on the book like I should. So that's definitely changing. Let's see what else is going on in life. Well, other than that, I've been getting that great workout in. The martial arts adds some cardio and some flexibility to my workout. My back isn't hurting anymore. My joints don't hurt quite as much, and I think it's because I'm spending a lot more time kind of in my zone, just allowing myself to relax and to stretch. If you're not into a physical fitness program or into some regular physical fitness, I implore you, I tell you, listen, it is the best thing for you. I know it's not everybody's thing. The trick is to find something that truly inspires you or enjoys you or maybe is the least painful. One of the things my wife and I do is we walk. We do a lot of walking, not so much anymore because I spend so much time in my head working on the podcast and making sure that the quality's good that it's hard for me to walk with my wife and have a conversation with myself about topics like whether it's good enough or not. Now, the reason I bring that to your attention is because when I look at my life, and if you look at the reason that I show up here every day, it's because, I'm doing pretty good. Life is great. I could actually stop doing all of the things I'm doing and just settle in and live my life, and I would be fine. But there's a part of me that's not ready to give up. When I thought about the martial arts and I realized how good I was at it, because I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I'm really fast still considering, and I really enjoy it, and that's really the point. And then, of course, it's really great for my physical fitness. It keeps me healthy, keeps me strong. Even if I don't know, there's something about getting old. If you're not my age, there's something about getting old that cutting weight sucks except for muscle. You can lose muscle in a minute. I'll work out for a week, and I don't work out for a day, and I look like I don't work out, right? It sucks. But the motivation that I have for everything I do in life is because I want to improve it. I want to capitalize on the opportunities and make my life as good as possible. And what's ironic about this lifestyle, I choose this lifestyle for that same reason. It's because I have stories. I can tell you no matter what happens in my life now, when I'm 80 years old, 90 years old, maybe I'll live to be 150, who the hell knows. But whenever I'm sitting around, I'm old and all I have is my memories. You know what I get to say? I get to say, yeah, I remember when I spent that summer in Bar Harbor, Maine, July. Oh, me and Sandy had a great time, right? Yeah, I get to say that. And the reason I get to say that is because the life I was living was not good enough. It was great. I mean, by most people's standards, according to what most people choose, it was an amazing life. I had abundance of a lot of things. I had a great home and a great yard, and I had cows and a garden and weeds and trees to trim and lawn to mow, and it was a great life. But from the standpoint of who I was and what I aspired to do, before the lights go out, before this thing ends, that wasn't nearly good enough. Okay, I spent my early years living in a house, doing what everyone else did, doing what my dad did, doing what my grandparents did. But there was a point when I said, nah, this isn't good enough. That's the part of that about living, about traveling, that's kind of ironic. I guess in my mind, because Sandy and I retired when we were both 54, right? So I look at the idea of traveling and I think about, well, okay. One thing that surprised me was how inactive a lot of people are when they go live their dream. You talk about the snowbirders who go to Florida and they're just out on the beach and they send pictures home of them drinking umbrella drinks and eating good food and this and that. What surprised me about that was the one-sidedness, the single mode of that lifestyle for a lot of people. I mean, it's shocking. I don't know if it's shocking. I think it's just from where I'm at, where I wake up every day and I ask myself, okay, how can I improve this? And of course, I always have something going on. I know that there will probably always be a project, and probably most likely it'll be a book. But integrated in all of that, I'm still working out. I'm still working on my relationship. I'm still watching my diet. I'm still trying to produce and be the best I can be. And I look at these people who just simply settle in, and I think, how can you do that? How can you find satisfaction in the fact that you're not learning anything anymore? Life, I mean, it's cool. I enjoy company. I really do. I love people. You'll see if I ever get a chance to stand in front of an audience, which is coming. I think that's probably where this thing's going because I mean, for God's sake, I've gotten enough practice at it, right? And if you think I can do this, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to what happens when I actually have an audience who appreciates who I am and is willing to listen, because it gets nuts. If you ever have a chance, if you're inclined to have me come and speak, I'm going to throw this out there. It's kind of scary for me. Again, hey, there you go. That's scary. But if I'm ever in the area, or you think I might be in the area, or you want to schedule something, let me know. I'll come by and talk to you. And guess what? You get to pick the topic. You get to pick the topic because I guarantee you, you're not going to stump me. Now the question is, why would I put myself out there like that? Well, it's because, okay, that's one of those things, that's the other equation. Okay, it's a challenge. Maybe I'll suck. Probably suck. Probably won't connect. Oh, wow. Probably have someone say, man, that sucked. I'm okay with that. Because where I am now, I'm good at. I think it's gaining, but I want a challenge. I want more. There's still more things to do in my life before I die. Now you might think, well, what does this have to do with me? Okay, I've bored you for like 7 minutes talking about this whole good enough thing and my philosophy on it. How does this apply to you? Let's go ahead and look at that. If you take a look around at your life, and maybe not your life, but just take a look around at the average life of the people you know. The majority of people you know go through the same steps day in and day out, with very little change. Maybe they might make a decision. They get a car paid off, so they buy a new car. Maybe they get a new hot tub, or they get to go on vacation. But it's because, but aside from that, nothing really changes. There's no major changes in their life. Now, at least that they're initiating. COVID-19 caused some people to change. COVID-19 caused us all to say, okay, is what we're doing working? And some of those decisions and some of those choices were forced. But for the most part, everyone is on autopilot. Even now, a year after they announced COVID-19 last March, and now here we sit, you are pretty much back into your grind. You wake up every day and you do what you do, and you come home, and the cycle repeats itself day in and day out. That's an indication that it's good enough. Because change requires two things. Either you have to have the motivation based on some idea about how great or how much better it can make your life, or how much you would enjoy the experience, whatever your motivation is there, or life has to hand you a crap sandwich and force you into it. I know someone got fired. She was fired, and it was the best thing that could ever happen to her. And what was ironic about that was, had she not been fired, she would have continued in that life, and she would have accepted that that life was good enough. It paid the bills. Yeah, it was tough, a lot of stress. And then she gets fired, and all of a sudden she discovers better. She's like, wow, wait a minute. Not only do I wake up and I'm excited about what I do, but I feel like I'm making a difference not only in my life, but in the lives of other people. And I guarantee you, if you haven't done it, if you haven't stepped into these shoes and actually done something for someone else, you can't imagine how friggin' amazing it feels. That was my juice. I could have the world's crappiest day and have some inmate contact me, call me from wherever they are to tell me, hey, Chris, or hey, boss, because that's what they used to call me. Hey, boss, it's Harry, it's Harrison, it's Tom, whoever, right? Thanks. Your advice worked. I'm working. I got this great job. In order for you to achieve better in your life, you can never be satisfied with where you are. Does that mean you got to change everything? Does that mean you have to change everything according to the rules of your best life defined? No, you can just pick one thing. Hell, pick something simple. Maybe you want to go fishing. Maybe you want to play golf more. Doesn't take that much. Okay, squeeze some time in, squeeze a little money in, and make an arrangement, eliminate something out of your life and improve it. See, the reason we sit in these, I call it the pond, and I'm going to do a podcast on that, but the reason we sit in our pond called our life is because it's easy, it's predictable. It doesn't require any more substantial effort than you're putting out right now. So you've reached that balance where you're just on autopilot. You're kind of like a runner, you ever seen those long distance runners? I mean, or if you've ever ran, you get into a stride and then all of a sudden the breathing is perfect. You're not feeling strained. And what's funny is you have the flexibility to speed up, to address hills, the tempo's there. So, and you just kind of roll along. It's only when you introduce a challenge into your life that it grows. It grows. And in order for you to do that, you have to look at the life you're living, or more than that, you have to look at specific areas of your life and say, is that good enough? You know enough? Have you learned enough? Have you taught enough? Do you earn enough? Do you laugh enough? That's ironic. I mean, it's not, but that's the truth. All this story is about, and all Sandy and I have done, is we've decided to add more things into our life that add value to our life, that make us feel good about the struggles we face because of it. It's effort in, effort out. And I guarantee very few things in life do not require effort. Very few things that you choose in life are going to come to you free. I mean, aside from maybe winning the lottery, right? I show up every day because of you. I show up every day because when I look around, I don't see people living their best life. And maybe I'm wrong. And of course, there's a whole lot of stories built around what happiness looks like. So when you look at your life and you look against the rules, you compare that to the rules or the standards set by society, I can see where it's easy for you to say, well, I don't need to do anything. My life's perfect. I got my job, got the house, got all that stuff. In essence, what you say when you say that is, it's good enough, good enough. And see, where I part ways with that attitude is in the fact that, why? Why? Have you ever spent a month in Bar Harbor, Maine? Have you ever built custom furniture by hand? Have you ever read Tale of Jeet Kune Do by Bruce Lee? Book of Five Rings? I mean, there are so many options in life that require us to move beyond where we are, that for you to sit in your pond called your life, where you repeat the same actions and you don't challenge yourself, it's not going to have any effect on me. I guarantee it. I would love to hear from you, for you to say, hey, listen, Chris, I heard you and I'm doing it. I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing. That would make my day. But just because you don't, and just because about every third day I wake up and I think, who the hell am I to be telling you what to do? Part of it is because I look at what I've done and it's not good enough. I don't know enough. I haven't gotten good enough at this to the point that where I can talk to you and you can be inspired and I can have you take action in your life. Apparently, my message still isn't there. I'm not motivating you. And that's okay. I'm not stopping because I'm not giving up on you. And I hope you don't give up on yourself. I hope maybe today, this podcast right here is the podcast that drives you to take action, to look at your life and say, you know what, I'm done with that. I don't know why we do it. And even if I do know why we do it, I'm ready to change it. What about you? You talk to your partner and say, listen, we are not laughing enough. We are not spending enough quality time together. We aren't making love enough. Whatever that thing is that will add fuel to your fire and give you another place to bring your life, or another place to take your life. Down a new creek, you're sitting there in your pond. Hey, let's go over here. And you broaden the platform of your life. And the next thing you know, you're looking back and you're going, wow, that was one hell of a good idea. I like that plan. And the best part of all is once you get that win, once you actually accomplish that goal and you can look back from where you started to where you are now, it's a boost of energy, because it reminds us of what we're supposed to be doing. It reminds us of where we can be in our true potential. The next time you're on social media, next time you're looking at some famous person and you're admiring what they're doing, I want you to remember something. The reason their life doesn't look like your life is because they looked at that life and they said, when they were young, when they were poor, when no one knew their name, they said, you know what, this isn't good enough. And in a way, that's what I'm telling you. This isn't good enough. I'm ready for something better. I'm going to create something here. And what's cool about it is there are a lot of people who can't even see that vision because they're so trapped in the repetition of every day that they've lost sight of the possibilities, their true potential. And of all the things I look at, I think, God, that's the scariest part about it for me, is that I will have missed the opportunity to do something else, to improve something else about my life. And it might just be learning something new. It might be spending a little time. I was at the park today, spent some time with a young man. He was blind. His name's Henry. And of course, the lady from the blind school was with him, and we had a really nice conversation. And I had Henry laugh, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, so many opportunities to help so many people. What are you going to do today to change your life? What are you going to do today to say, you know what, he's right. I'm not good enough. It's not good enough. And this isn't about you personally, unless that's how you feel. Maybe you're tired of walking around with your head down. I don't know. It's your life. It's your choice. I'm not judging. I'm not telling you what you should and what you shouldn't do. What I'm saying is that as long as you wake up and you're given the gift of life, you need to wake up and say, what can I do with this thing? What can I do with this thing to make my life better, to make the world better, to be able to go to sleep tonight and think back on my day and say, hell yeah, look what we did. I don't know. I'm just one guy. I got one big dream, and that's to change the world. I keep showing up every day. I'm not giving up on you, and I hope you don't either. Let's not forget the kindness, and as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.